And the Jim Norton Show starts now.
Yes. I always feel like I talk too soon. Excuse me, and don't allow enough of that amazing theme song to play. Thank you for staying tuned to the Jim Norton program. Kevin Hart was in for about 45, 50 minutes on Opie and Anthony. He's hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. And I was telling Opie and E-Rock in the break, he's just a funny fucking guy. And that's this exact same... He's been much more successful now and he makes a lot more money. But that's the exact same conversation you would have had with him 12 years ago. Nothing has changed about that guy tonally. Like, he's the same guy he was back then. That was the same funny cadence he had and the same way he shit talked. Exactly the same. With the exception of the fact that he probably makes $400,000 a night. You know, that didn't change him, though. That didn't change him at all. It's amazing how that would have changed me. Like, I'm a bigger dick now than I've probably ever been. But if I made that kind of money, I'd be intolerable. Intolerably awful. Not that you, the listeners, wouldn't adore me. Of course. I call it worship. All right. Who's the first person to call up? E-Rock, please, talking to the mic.
There we go.
There you go.
We're going to talk to James. He's having a problem with his mother-in-law.
Oh, no.
James.
Send her someplace she's never been.
Hey.
The kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. 1950s. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Well, buddy, thank you.
Hey, my mother sold her house like too quick about 3 years ago, and she didn't have time to find a new one. So, being the nice son-in-law I am, I took her in, and now I can't seem to get rid of her. She retired from, two great jobs, so she got 2 pensions. She got all that money from the house that was paid off, so she's loaded, and she won't leave.
How does your wife feel about it?
She doesn't want to upset her because, she doesn't want it to ruin their relationship.
Yeah.
But I just feel it's her responsibility to kind of handle it, because it's her mom.
Yeah, it's a rough one, and you don't want to push it and start a big war, but it's your house, dude. You gotta... How long's she been there? 2 years?
Almost 3 now.
What you ought to do is just sit in the living room and just jerk off in the afternoon. Like, watch TV and just, like, not even with a heart on, just lollygag around your dick and make her sit in the other chair and kind of avoid eye contact and watch TV. Or fuck your wife really loud. Like, just be really degrading. Come on! Move it, cunt! Just yell really dirty things in bed that the mother has to hear, and she'll move out. Either that or you and your wife should just move, and then don't tell her. And she'll just wake up one day alone, like furniture in her bedroom, and everyone's gone.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Talk to your wife and tell her, look, your mother's a nice person, but, I didn't fucking sign on to marry you and your mom. I mean, tell her nicer than that, but, yeah, you got to speak up. You could do it nicely and say, look, we want to have our own life.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, is that it'll hurt her feelings, because she doesn't have much family. I mean, we're basically the only people she's got.
Oh.
And,
Why do you hate having her there?
It's just I want my own house back. She smokes. I don't like that.
Oh, yuck.
Well, not in the house, but
Okay.
just little things bother me, and I'm starting to resent her, and that sucks. Even my kids resent her because she's there so much. And she should have that kind of relationship with the kids.
No,
I love seeing her.
Everyone wants her out, but your wife, you and the kids. So there's a way to say it to your wife, but say, hey, look, the kids and I, we come on, we want our place back. And you can have a nice talk with her and figure out a way to do it nicely. So it's not like, it's not hateful, but I think you have the right to want your own place, dude. So,
absolutely.
Just sit down and go, look, we've all talked it over, and you're a cancer in this home, and we'd like you and your ciggy breath to leave. Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Yes.
All right, let's talk to Jared. He has a question about your workout.
Oh, good. This will be a long answer, Jared.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Hey, man.
Dude, that was a funny plug during Kevin Hart at the end of that, man.
Thank you.
I almost shit my pants, dude. That was funny shit.
You.
I got a quick comment after my question about you. I saw you down in Atlantic City during the show a couple weeks ago.
Thank you.
And obviously you stopped eating. So, seriously, you're traveling all the time. How do you eat properly and lose your fucking chin?
It's very hard to eat properly on the road. I wonder. You wonder why there's so many fucking fat fuck Americans. Like when you're in airports, it's all McDonald's. Like there's nothing healthy. I believe in choice. Like Bloomberg's a douche for making people not get something, but like half the time it's really hard to eat well. Like it's very hard when you're on the road to eat well. But I just go.
What do you do like daily? Like what's your thing?
I go to the gym most days. Like I do abs every other day. There's an ab thing I picked up offline where it's 10 different exercises, and I'll do 25 reps of each one, and then I do 4 sets of that. So it comes to like 1,000 exercises. It takes about 40 minutes. And it's hard, but it's not as bad as you think. And I do that, and then maybe a little bit of cardio, or maybe just a little bit of back on ab day.
Yeah.
And whatever. Just do chest, arms, legs, cardio the other day. I just try to mix it up a bit. And I just eat better. I eat smart. That's it. I mean, there's no magical mystery thing to what I'm doing. I'm just eating better, avoiding bread and pretzels, which I used to love.
Right.
And that's it. It's really, I try not to eat late at night, and once in a while I fuck up. So I think because I'm in the gym so much, I'm able to fuck up once in a while. Like at Tom Papa's the other night, I ate like a little blubber monkey. I just fucking was shoving pretzels and treats into my face, a couple of brownies. But I think once in a while, if you do that, and then the next day you don't spiral into it, you'll be fine.
Hey, also, can I make a comment and ask you a question about that show down at AZ?
Sure.
Well, listen, man, I thought it was really cool that after the show you guys did that Q&A thing.
Oh, good.
And, I knew I wanted to ask you something. It took a fucking couple of weeks to come up with it. But, I used to listen to you guys all the time, and then somehow I lost you guys. And then I went over to Howard, and now I'm back listening to you guys. And first, just as a comment, listening to you guys every day, it literally like makes me funnier throughout the day, just sharper, kind of wittier kind of thing.
Oh, thank you.
Where Howard, this is kind of funny, listening to shit or whatever. But
yeah.
First of all, do O&A, do they still hate Howard? Because I never hear them talk about him.
Nah. In all honesty, dude, no. I've met him a few times in the hallway, and we always stop and say hello. He's been very friendly when I've met him. And no, they don't hate Howard at all. I mean, there's been that behind the scenes stuff that's gone on, and there's been frustrations, but no, they don't hate Howard.
So then, would you do Howard's show, and would Artie do O&A's show, or is that a kind of thing that is like a no-no?
Well, Artie's not on Howard anymore. Artie's able to do what he wants. I think Artie's going to do. I think Artie would do Howard first because he hasn't been on Howard since 2009. So I think Artie wants to do Howard on his book tour. And would I do Howard? Yeah, sure, but they'll never ask me to do Howard. I've never been. It's not like they've asked me and I've turned it. I don't know.
You're like a top fucking comedian. And you would be great on that show. Is it because of just the history?
Well, I'm also associated with people he doesn't like. I mean, I'm close with Leno, and Howard and Leno don't get along. And I'm on Opie and Anthony, and the shows historically have had strife. So I don't expect a call anytime soon. And would I do it? Sure, but I don't.
What about Artie on O&A?
If Artie wants to come on O&A, he's welcome to, dude. We'll see what's happening with his book tour. I don't know what to tell you. I would love to have him on.
You are kick-ass, man. Thanks.
Thanks for the call, buddy. Take care. Appreciate it.
Later. Sure.
All right, let's go to a girl.
Oh, my
Dawn
God.
has a question for you about her child.
My brother's an alcoholic. Oh, sorry, wrong Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
No, I'm not an alcoholic. Hi, Jim.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not so good, and this is why I'm calling. My son's father is a complete and total douchebag. Can I say that word?
Yeah, we prefer it, yes.
Oh, okay. He hasn't paid child support in 10 years. He hides all his money. He's rich. He's actually at the point where my son is very depressed because of this.
How old's your son?
19.
Oh, he's an adult. Okay.
Well, you have to pay in New York up until they're 21.
Okay.
And my son is very depressed over this, and I'm thinking about hurting the guy.
Well, you can't do that, especially as your son has gotten older. I don't have kids, but people say that when it comes to seeing your kids in pain, it's supposed to be very awful. What you might want to do is, again, I suggest therapy a lot just because therapy is a non-family, non-12-step place to go where people can, talk about their problems to somebody who actually is fairly knowledgeable. So why don't you try that? Because as an adult, he's going to have to navigate that anyway. So let him go into therapy and see if he can deal with it, or does he want to reach out to the father, or maybe he won't want to.
He's actually working with his father right now.
Oh, okay.
But his father is just not paying him right and won't help him out whatsoever.
Well, then maybe he needs to eventually detach from the father and realize that just because a guy, made cum that made you doesn't make him a good guy. Maybe just because he's the father, your son made the effort, and maybe the dad is just not that good a guy. Or maybe the dad hates you and still associates the son with you.
Yeah, you got it. You pinned it.
Yeah. So
how do we stop that?
I don't know. Maybe you should. Have you considered calling the father and saying, "Look, I know you hate me, but you're picking it out on him."
100 times.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe your son could say it to him. As an adult, the father shouldn't be doing that anyway. He shouldn't be putting the son there because he sees your face in the kid. But maybe your son could say, "Look, I feel like you're taking your anger on mom out on me."
That's excellent advice, Jim.
All right, good luck. I hope it works out.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ray has a question about stand-up for you.
Okay, Ray.
Ray.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Jim. How you doing, man?
Good, thank you.
Hey, so I've been wanting to do stand-up. I've been writing jokes. I got my whole...
Forget it. You'll never make it. Next call. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
I got my notepad full of stuff, but I just don't... I find it hard to find the balls to stand up and actually just, take a leap of faith and actually do it. It's like... And I've done the whole, trying it out and, trying out, the whole routine, and I feel like I haven't found my voice yet.
Have you been on stage yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, then you have not tried it out. You have not tried it out. I understand what you're going through. It's doing stand-up, and maybe it's the same for actors and singers. I don't know. But we see ourselves as something. Like being a comedian, I always saw myself as a comedian. Even when I was a kid, I saw myself as I will be a comedian. It's an identifying thing. It's who you are. So the scary thing, and I've talked about this before, is going up on stage and trying it and realizing that dream is now dead. It's almost like we're afraid of losing this very identifiable feature. Like I was afraid when I tried comedy that it wouldn't work and that I would have to realize that I was just Jimmy Norton and I wasn't special, or that I wasn't this thing that I always looked to. Like this special day was never going to come. You have to get over being afraid of that and chance it, because the day where it's all okay and you're not scared and you have it all figured out never comes. And there's guys who are very old who have dreamed for very long and who haven't tried it. You should go up on stage at an open mic, realize that being afraid is normal. Bombing is okay. If people didn't bomb, there'd be 2 million comics. It's getting through the scary process that separates people who are comedians to funny people who aren't comedians. There's plenty of funny people who aren't stand-ups because they're afraid. So you do is you keep writing your stuff down, tape record yourself when you're on stage. And I would say do 10 or 12 different open mics, and then get a sense of whether or not this is something you enjoy or think you might be good at. But you have not tried it until you've stood up in front of an audience.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, man. And hopefully one day I'll share the stage with you or something.
You're welcome. And don't talk yourself out of it. Don't allow being afraid to convince you not to do it. You're supposed to be afraid. You'd be an idiot if you weren't. It's okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
Okay, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Alan in Ohio has a question about your special that you taped in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Alan?
Yeah, hey.
Hi,
Jimmy,
Alan.
how you doing?
Good, buddy.
I was at the early show in Cleveland that you taped.
Yes.
It's fucking hysterical.
Thank you.
I'm just wondering when it's coming out on DVD to actually buy it, like a hard copy. Like, are you going to be selling it through your website, or how's that going to work?
I don't know. The deal was cut through Comedy Central Records by the production company, so I don't know. It's got to air on Comedy Central first. By the time this one airs, I'm taping another one, so I don't know. Hopefully soon. The deal has been made. Hopefully within a couple of months it'll be out. I gave way too much control of that special up. This next one that will not happen with. I'll have complete control of it. So hopefully soon, but the CD DVD will be out.
Great, I can't wait for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thanks for enjoying it.
You're welcome.
We're going to stay in Ohio. Rick has a question about his son's girlfriend.
Okay. Hello, Rick.
Yeah, hey.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
All right. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. I know you don't have a half an hour to sit here and
Right.
BS. So, all right, I got an 18-year-old stepson. I know that's tricky as it is right there.
Yeah.
His father's never really been around a lot, and it's even been to the point, his father's even claimed that that isn't his real son.
Okay.
So I invested a lot of time and effort, into this kid, because I know he was suffering as it was, so.
What age was he when you kind of came into the picture?
4.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I've been around for a long time.
Sure.
But he ends up meeting this girl, and he falls head over heels in love with her, and gets engaged. She even moves into our house for a while, and she's a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
He's an atheist.
All right.
But the problem is she is getting into his head really easily, and it got to the point in our house where she was turning him against us, the whole 9 yards. It was really ugly. It got really ugly. Everybody in my house was uncomfortable, except for them too. So I did have to put my foot down, and I had to make her go.
Okay.
We had this long discussion with him of how, it's not going to be right. He kind of saw the light, but now I find out he's back to talking to her, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I don't know what I can do.
Well, let me say, first of all, he's 18, so there's really nothing you can do. And I'm not saying Jehovah's Witnesses aren't annoying, but from what I hear about teenagers, they're kind of rebellious dickheads a lot of times. And they buck the system, and they buck their parents, and a lot of times they do it through drugs, or a lot of times they do it through saying, fuck God. Your son maybe is doing it by going, hey, God is okay, or whatever. Maybe that's his rebellion. You know what I mean? Or maybe he just genuinely likes this girl and she's influencing him. But does she do drugs or does she drink? Probably not.
No.
So maybe she's irritating, but there's probably a lot worse stories you could be telling right now than my son is hooking up with an annoying Jehovah's Witness. Like, he's not dating a heroin addict who he's gotten pregnant. He's not out stealing to support a habit. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It probably could be a lot worse, and hopefully he'll grow out of it, but you can't control it if he's wants to talk to this girl. She's just an annoying religious girl, but there's a lot worse case scenarios than that, I think.
Yeah, you're certainly right. Yeah, it just scares us that, if he does leave with her, he's going to be gone. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating him. I hope.
How long's he been with her?
Only a year.
You don't forget the newness of a relationship when you're 18. You know how obsessive we are, and the newness of that sex, if they're having sex, or, she's his link out of the home, like she's this adult thing. He'll probably get sick of it too. This is all new to him. Nobody who's an atheist all of a sudden says, wow, I want to knock on everyone's door and fucking give them pamphlets. That's fucking douchey. So just give him some time. He'll probably grow out of it or wind up getting too annoyed at her.
Okay, cool.
Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Excuse me. Yes.
Let's go to Dave in Colorado. His wife gave him the green light to sleep with other women.
Ah, yes. Lucky Dave.
How's it going, Jim?
Hi, buddy.
So, kind of in a nutshell, my wife got sick about 4 years ago with severe anemia. They can't fix it. So, sex life hasn't been very good. It used to be pretty good. She's given me threesomes in the past with other chicks.
Okay.
It's just always been a turn on for her to see me fuck another chick. But it's a really weird situation. Now that she's gotten sick, I've felt more of a sense of loyalty to her, that I don't want to abandon her. I don't want to leave her. I want to take care of her.
Right.
But she's like, she's a very sensible woman. She's like, I know I'm not providing my services to you as your wife and as a woman. She goes, you need to go fuck another chick. Go fuck another chick. Just don't ever put her before me or the kids. Just have that on your side. But
are you calling to brag? That sounds like a great deal.
I'm not, dude, because here's the fucking, like, moral conundrum about it. It's like, yeah, physically I have the desire to, but, like, emotionally and spiritually and mentally, I still feel like I'd be betraying her, and that would be, like, the worst dick move that I could do. But I need it. I need to fuck some fresh fucking pussy, but how would you suggest just getting past that mental block of detaching myself emotionally?
Why can't you, since you've had threesomes with her before, why can't you somehow include her in this, even if she's not involved in the sex? Can't she be in the room, or can't she just masturbate and watch it, or is she too sick to even do that?
She's you know, she's kind of let herself go a little bit. I mean, not horribly. She's not a fucking slob or anything.
Right.
But, you know, she just doesn't feel sexy. And I mean, and I try my best to make her feel sexy. I go get her pedicures and manicures, and, you know, but she's just like, she's not even interested in sex. She's not interested.
Well, she's giving you the green light, and you think it's a sincere green light.
I already know what it is. Fuck yeah.
Why don't you tell her what you just told me? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Why don't you tell her what you just told me? Like, hey, look, I really want to fuck somebody because I'm dying here, and then put her hands on your balls and go, these puppies need draining. But then why don't you say, but I feel like I'm going to be disloyal to you, and I don't want to be disloyal, and then see what she says.
I'll do. So, you know what? I have told her that, and she said, you're a fucking pussy.
Oh, all right. Well,
that's her. She thinks like a dude. I'm telling you, bro, I got a good situation. But my question to you is yes, physically, I need to fuck another chick, and I want to fuck another chick. How can I detach myself emotionally just to fucking and enjoy myself, and take it for what it is, a physical activity?
Well, get blown first. Why don't you start off just getting blown? That's a little less personal a lot of times. Or just tell yourself it's like anything else. I mean, when you're looking at it like that, like you just want to have sex, you know, it's like working out, or it's like eating, or it's like taking a shit. It's a physical thing you're doing. It's like dancing with another person, except your dick is sliding into her. Just tell yourself you're going dancing, but you're going to do it in a Motel 8 and then clean her back off with a towel when you're finished.
Yeah, 'cause I'm done with porn, dude. I'm so sick of jacking off. It's not even.
Yeah, get a blowjob or something, and make sure you wear a condom so you don't get her knocked up and have to deal with that. But I mean,
vasectomy, bro. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want to come back with fucking, the herp or something.
Yeah.
But I would right. just ease into it. Why don't you go out to eat with a girl or whatever, or go to a motel and play a little bit and tell her you'll see how you feel. And then if you want to stop in the middle of it, stop in the middle of it.
All right. Well, thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. Love you, Jim.
I love you. Good luck, man.
Thanks, bro.
What a lucky dog. Who's next?
I like that opening line. You just called a brag.
I know. What a lucky guy.
Matt in Long Island has just found out something about his sister.
Oh. Hello, Matt.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Hi, buddy.
All right, so I just found out that my little cousin is an escort.
Okay.
And like her whole life, she's been in and out of rehab. She was doing H. I think she's on meth now. I don't really know exactly what she's doing, but I Google searched her phone number, and I found out like 10 escort services with her picture on it and shit.
Oh, boy.
And I don't really know how to confront her about it, because I know if I confront her with it, she'll just completely cut off all contact with me. And
how old is she?
She's 24.
All right. Well, if you want me to confront her with it, you can email me your contact info, and I'll be happy to talk to her. Yeah, I don't know. Would she really cut off all contact with you?
Well, it's tough because she's kind of bipolar too. She has like all these mental problems. Obviously, that's why she was doing H and all that other shit.
Yeah.
But I've tried to confront her about drugs before, and she would just go off into a crack house somewhere and not talk to her family for 6 months. And I know if I confront her about this now, she'll probably just never talk to me again. I don't know. She's walking on thin fucking ice.
Yeah, you might want to talk to her. Sometimes it helps to talk to somebody and they know you're not judging them.
Yeah.
Like when you come at somebody and you go, I know what you've been doing. You push them away. But if you come up to somebody and you go like, look, between you and I, or however you want to phrase it, I know you're an adult. You have the right to do what you want. But I just want you to know I'm here for you, and I know that you're doing this, but I love you anyway. You might want to come at her from that way, because you can't stop her from doing it. She's an adult. Right, she doesn't have to talk to you. She doesn't have to listen to you. So sometimes letting somebody know you're there is very, very helpful. And then you may be the one person in the family she feels free to talk to when it gets bad.
That's usually the way it is too. Like, me and her have a special connection that even like her and her father don't have.
Okay.
So like because I've gone through my own problems in my life too. So we can kind of connect on that note. But this is kind of, well, yeah, I don't know. Like I saw that yesterday. I'm like, fuck. Tough.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just got a text from Bob Kelly, and I was distracted. But no, you're right, it is tough. But I would suggest letting her know that you understand what she's doing, and that, you're there for her, and you hate to see her wrecking herself. And she'll go, I know, mind your business. But she'll hear you. She'll know that you're telling her something with love. Don't degenerate into an argument.
Okay.
I would just tell her how you feel, and that you'll be there for her when she's ready. And if she needs help, you want her to know she can call you, and you're not going to judge her.
Right. And I think she already knows that anyway, so maybe that's already one foot in the door.
Yeah, but you might want to talk to her. I mean, is it better to confront somebody or not confront somebody on that? I would say it's better to let her know that you know what she's doing.
Yeah, but not be a dick about it. Just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I would too.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Take care, bud.
Tim in New York wants to talk to you about the Comedy Cellar.
Okay, cool.
Tim.
Hey, what's up, Jim? I just wanted to know your opinion of the classes at the Comedy Cellar and if they're worth the money.
Well, I've never taken a comedy class. I know a comedian buddy of mine named Rick Chrome teaches comedy class at the Cellar. And for a long time I was like, well, comedy classes are no good. But you know what? If you're going in there and he's kind of helping you get over a little bit of stage fright and he's kind of teaching you, it might be very helpful, because I like Rick a lot and I have faith in Rick. I think that he's been around for comedy for so many years, and he hosted the Comedy Cellar for many years, so he absolutely understands that process very, very well.
Okay.
So the worst that can happen is you don't learn anything. The best that can happen is you learn something really good. Like, I don't think anything bad will happen to you if you go. Have you performed before?
No, I've been doing like comedy mixtapes, like rap mixtapes.
Yeah, but performing in front of a live audience, this may get you. Sometimes comedy classes are good because you're easing your way into it, and you're easing your way on stage with a bunch of people in the same boat. So like all of you guys will be novices. So you realize, like, hey, this person and I are kind of in the same boat. So there might be some strength in numbers when you actually perform. So yeah, I would suggest Rick's class. And again, the worst that can happen is it doesn't help you, but it's not going to hurt you.
And can I ask you, how long did it take you to find management, and how did you find management?
I never pursued management. I said they'll come to me when it's ready. A couple of years, I mean 5 years. I was doing Jersey with Bob Levy and Florentine and all those guys, Eric McMahon. And then I finally came into New York 5 years in, around 95. And I forget how I got it. I think a guy named Rick Dorfman, who worked at Caroline's at the time. Caroline's was my first management team when the Comedy Club managed people. And then after that, it was Barry Katz and Maureen Tarrant, and then from them I went to MBST. So they basically approached me after seeing me, and I always kind of figured that was the best way to do it.
All right, well, I respect that. Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, good luck, man.
All right, let's go to Lloyd in Vancouver. He has sex addiction.
Okay.
Hey, Jimmy. Thanks for taking my call.
Hi, Lloyd.
Yeah, I have a voyeuristic sex addiction that is something that I've only recently come to understand is an actual addiction. I just thought it was some sort of fucked up problem.
Now, how have you been practicing it? Have you been doing it only online, or have you been looking through windows or peeking through? What have you been doing?
When I was like 18 or 19, I was looking through windows and shit. But then I kind of scaled it back. But recently I've kind of fucked shit up because I was peeping on my roommate and I got caught. And I feel terrible because I didn't intend for this sort of thing to happen. But I'm just kind of like, oh shit, now what do I do?
How'd you get caught?
I had a camera up to the bottom of the bathroom window while she was taking a bath.
Okay.
And I like recorded her essentially seeing it and going like, what the? So, yeah.
So what did she say to you?
She hasn't said anything. So, like, maybe there's plausible deniability.
When did this happen?
Like 2 days ago.
And she's interacted with you normally since then?
No, I have not been around the house.
Boy. First of all, that's a crime. You got to be really like I've looked in windows when I was a teenager, which is that's sexual voyeurism, but this is really violating. And I understand the temptation to do it. I'm not judging you because it's hard, dude. As a pervert, I know what would drive a person to do that.
Yeah.
But to the person you're doing it to, and this is coming from a fellow pervert, like she has a tremendous expectation of privacy in the bathroom. And I know that fury to jerk off to something, to see something, the newness of it, the dirtiness of it, the taboo of it. But you really are violating her. Like, sometimes it helps to realize that we don't do this stuff. It's not a harmless thing we're doing in a vacuum. Like, you're really robbing something from her. And that's humiliating for somebody. And that's painful and enraging. And to be spied on, it fucks you up, man. Like, you feel like, what if she picked her nose? Or what if she had these weird, like, you know what I mean? It's such an exposing thing to do. Now, how did she not grab the camera?
Well, she was in the tub. Camera was like briefly visible and then disappeared when I realized that I'd been found, sort of thing, right?
Now, do you live in an apartment or a house?
House.
What floor?
Ground floor.
Okay, I'm asking that because could it be someone else? Could it be you? Does she know it was you?
I would assume that it's like 90% chance that it was me. Like, it could have potentially been someone else, but then she could have talked to me and gone, did anyone else come to the bathroom, sort of thing, or whatever, but that didn't happen. So I figure she's either brushing it under the rug or is just kind of like reeling and doesn't know how to deal with this.
Well, you better hope she's not calling the cops or doing something like that, because that is a crime, dude. Do you have a lot of this stuff on your computer?
No. No, this, like, as I've said, like, this is something that I've seen as a problem. I've actually been in therapy to deal with this. And, this was essentially like a relapse of sorts. And I feel fucking terrible about it, but I'm just like, well, shit, what do I do now? Where do I go? Like,
I don't know. I mean, you got to go home. I mean, you can't not go home. I would destroy the tape as much as, I understand.
That's already deleted.
Yeah. If she confronts you on it, I mean, I guess you got to be honest and say, look, and again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't give legal advice on shit like this. If you want to bounce it off a lawyer friend, please. But sometimes the best thing to do when someone confronts you on something like that is to just give them a mea culpa and admit it and say, look, I've been in therapy for it. It was a relapse and I violated you and I'm sorry. Is that the only time you've done that, or have you done it? Because she's going to want to know how many times you've taped her, how much of her personal life has been fucking violated by you.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, dude, as a sex addict, I don't believe that you're taping her for the first time and you get caught. I don't believe anyone's luck is that bad. Come on.
All right. Fair enough. Good call, sir. The camera has been out before, but this is the first time that actually anything would have been recorded, because before there was never like a vantage point or anything.
What do you mean there was no vantage point?
Like, I could only get a picture of feet or something, which would be great if I was a foot fetishist, but no, I'm not. So
it was a camera or a video camera?
It was like a phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to want to know how much of her life has been. How long have you lived with her?
Couple of months.
And what's her? Did you move into her place or did she move into yours?
She moved into mine.
Now, so she's probably totally creeped out and scared, and she's probably scoured the apartment for fucking cameras. That's really violating. And the fact that you haven't been home is very, very telling. But if she comes up, I don't know, maybe ask a lawyer what you should do with the legal angle on that. But sometimes you just got to say, I'm really sorry, and I fucked up, and I don't blame you if you want to move out. Offer her the option of moving out, and let her break her lease if she wants to. If she wants to move out and break the lease and go somewhere else, allow her to do that. And refund her. You know what I mean? Give her that option so she doesn't lose anything.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And then maybe she'll be willing just to go, look, I got to get out of here. Maybe she'll forgive you and stay. I don't think so. But, at least give her the option of leaving by losing nothing.
Yeah, right. All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
Good luck, man. And you should stop doing that. And that's a pervert telling you that. Because it's not like it's illegal, but, man, God damn, it's really fucking immoral to violate someone like that.
It also seems like it'd be something they would, even if you weren't convicted, they would keep it on your record. for doing something like that. So that's going
yeah.
to fuck with your job in the future and everything.
Yeah, there's legal ramifications, sure. But it's more the emotional baggage you're giving somebody to do that, because she's going to want to know, like, oh my God, I shit there. Was that that privacy? It's like it's a much more mild form of rape, but it really is a very subtle, non-physical form of rape to violate somebody like that, man. It's awful. And I'm not trying to make you feel worse, brother, but really look at that for what it is.
Rich on Long Island has a question about your show on March 29th.
Oh, in Boston, yes. The Somerville.
Hi. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Hi, buddy.
Hey, and actually, I'm from Rhode Island, common misconception.
Okay.
I have a question. I've been watching your shit for years and years and years. On stage, I've never heard you do your characters. Is that a reason why, or is that something that you want to break into sooner or later, or what's up?
In all honesty, I do them occasionally on stage. I've wanted to incorporate them into a special. I did them on the Please Be Offended when I was touring with that material, but I just didn't make the final cut of the hour. A lot of times, my sets are an hour and 10, hour and 12. You have to cut 12 minutes. That's a lot of material to cut. And, 18 minutes has to be cut, or 30 minutes by the time it's on Comedy Central with commercials. And there's no room for them. But I would like to do them. I do them on stage. But a lot of my fans are not O&A fans. I'd say 70% are. But there might be 30% that don't know Chip or don't know Edgar or Uncle Paul. But I should do them. But I would rather do them in visual form in a sketch show, which I want to pitch to a place, too, where I really want to do Chip and Uncle Paul. So they will see the light of day, I promise you.
Now, considering, this promotion that you just had was, almost 100% from O&A. And the show was sold out within 5 hours or so, at least for the one I'm trying to go to.
That's a good point. This is all an Opie and Anthony crowd.
I mean, I would love to see a Ted. I would love to see a Chip.
Yeah, maybe I'll do them. I can't say I won't. And thank you very much for the call, brother. I do Chip a lot on stage. I do them at the end though, because I don't like the whole. What happens is if you do too much radio show stuff, there's so much with the radio show that you can get bogged down in it, and it's hard to get back into your material. And I'm a stand-up first. So I've never allowed that. Because sometimes, Artie will go on stage, and the fans love him, but they're like, Beetlejuice or whatever, they're yelling Howard stuff. So for him, it's like his crowds are a little rowdier, and I try to do that stuff towards the end of the set. But I do love doing Chip at the end. But when you guys yell out Uncle Paul, I don't forget that I do Uncle Paul. I promise you, if I feel like doing him, I will do him. And sometimes towards the end of the show. A lot of times on stage, I do a big bit on oral sex. I mean, I love oral sex. Everybody loves oral sex. And, I've been in these relationships, right? I fucking have to beg the woman to do it. I got to point at my dick. Please, pretty please. I'm like, just kiss it. And then she'll give it a kiss, and I'll go, now kiss it quickly and a lot. And she'll kiss it a lot, and I'll just try to jam it in her mouth. I find myself counting down to these stupid special days, my birthday, my anniversary, once or twice a year for this special oral treat. I mean, many of you guys are feeling this way. I mean, don't waste another minute, you silly geese. Get masked sexual flavors today. Masked sexual flavors. They're flavored gel strips. We all know this. We use them. I mean, apparently they used to advertise here. I don't even know if they do anymore. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here. They dissolve on her tongue. And your tongue, I'm sure. If you want to eat her box and you find out that it's fucking gargling flounder out of a burlap bag, maybe you want to eat some masked sexual flavors. But a lot of times, the taste of your jizz is not good. Have you ever heard this? And she runs to the bathroom. That's because your cumsies is not flavorful. Imagine if you were shooting a delicious beverage down her throat. She wouldn't vomit it up. She'd go, mmm. She'd lick her lips and thank you. Thank you for that gift. Thanks for the cumsies. Mask drastically improves the experience for both you and your partner. That's obviously why, because you're jizzing in her mouth. Who wants a girl to pull out and awkwardly yank it with her hand? She does that because your cum is abysmal. It's abysmal. So she yanks it wrong. I'm going to come. And then she fucking sucker. And her stupid ring hand is going over the head. Ow, the ridge. And then as you're coming, she stops and shakes her hand. It's fucking awful. So you want to shoot it in her mouth. Visit sexualflavors.com to learn more. You can read customer reviews, and you can purchase single strips for, of course, 3 packs if you have going out to dinner with a real trooper. And it's available in watermelon, strawberry, mango, and chocolate. This way she can go, oh, I don't like watermelon. Then give her a mango and go, here, bitch, I got 3 more flavors. You can't not like 4 flavors. And scream it at her, please. Sexualflavors.com. Introduce her to Mask Sexual Flavors today. Believe me, you'll be glad you did. When you're getting a hold on those little ears and go, ah, and she has to go, oop, and she'll thank you for your jizz. Now, who's next, E-Rock? I'm not doing commercials today. Fuck commercials. I'm just talking.
All right, let's go to Mooney in Texas.
Oh, I don't believe that bullshit. Oh, wrong Mooney. Okay, hi. Yes, Mooney. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Mooney, what do you stick your butt out the window or something?
Yeah, pretty close.
What's that?
Nothing.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Jimmy, I got a problem. I've got a 17-year-old daughter, goes to private school, and she's having a really tough time keeping friends. She had one friend, just a little backstory. She's kind of psychotic, but she left the school, which I think kind of put that stigma of, well, she runs with a crazy girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just heartbreaking in the family because every night, come home crying, wife's crying, the whole, how do you treat a 17-year-old daughter who's not getting friends at school when she still has another year of school at the same private school? I just don't know.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions. One is, one statement. Did you might have to wonder, why is the one person she connected with a little nutty? And second of all, I mean, detaching yourself as the dad, look at your daughter just as a person. What is it about her, you think, that is, A, people are not kind of gravitating towards, or what is she doing to push them away? Just not as a father who says my daughter's the best, but just as a person, what would make her unattractive as a friend or hard to be friends with?
That's it, Jimmy. She's just the nicest girl in the world. She takes after her mom, just one of the good people, and I don't understand. And I know the school, she started late, maybe 7th grade, I think it was, and all the other kids have started since they were kindergarten. So these kids have grown up in, the same bunch, and then introduced somebody new, so she's kind of an outsider for the last, 4 years or so. But as a person, can't be beat.
Is she shy? Is she painfully shy?
No, not at all. Not at all. She's outgoing. She's willing to talk to people. Like the other day, I was asking, what's the deal? Are you asking people to go eat lunch? So, yeah, but nobody wants to. I've asked, and I just don't know. It's just a thing that's going through the family right now. We just don't know what to do.
Does she have bad breath? Or is there bad hygiene?
No, hell no, not at all. It's like I said, it's gotten to the point where she wants to leave that school, go to public school, got a year and a half left in regular school before she graduates, or even stopping school completely, which I told her that's the worst.
That's silly.
thing.
Yeah. What activities does she have? Because this is a skill that we develop, which we use later in life. So running to another school, there's an old expression, wherever I went, there I was. The issue is with her. Even though it might be a very cliquish place, there's something she's doing wrong, or she might be too shy, or she might be too, but it's better to work it out, because it's not like everybody is against her. I mean, that's very rare that that's actually the truth. Does she do any activities or belong to any clubs?
Oh yeah, she's on the yearbook club. She was on tennis. She was on the varsity, but she quit that because she overheard somebody saying she's not good enough for varsity. So she got back into, I guess, JV. But
wait, so she overheard somebody saying that and got back into JV. So is your daughter too sensitive? Like, some people are extremely sensitive. Why would she allow somebody else saying that to push her back into JV?
No, it's not that she's overly sensitive at all. Not at all. She's outspoken like me. She's, not overly, vocal about things, but she doesn't keep her opinions to herself, as far as, but she's got couth, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't just flat out, give the wrong word. She'll know when to speak up and when not to. She's not overly aggressive with that. But as far as, like, her personality, I mean, can't be beat. She does everything. She helps people out all the time, and it's just a weird thing, and we just don't know what to do.
Is she one of those, because a lot of times I'll get into these, like, I can't get a girl rut. And do you think that she's just, again, teenagers can sometimes overly dramatize things, and we make things worse than they are when we're teenagers. Is it possible she's doing that? Because it's hard to imagine somebody who's on the yearbook club or committee and does these activities and just has no friends at all.
That's the whole dilemma, is we don't know what's going on, because she's straight. She doesn't go out, on the weekends. She stays home. There's none of that stuff. And I think a lot of it has to do with their no boyfriends at all, and I think that's a big part. 17-year-old girl.
Well,
school's got to have a boyfriend, but she doesn't.
Did you ask her guidance counselor? I don't know if that helps or not, or if that's old man advice, but is there something the guidance counselor or at the school might have noticed if you said, look, she's having trouble making friends and we don't know why, she's a good kid?
We brought that up, and we did it, behind her back so that
Sure.
it would be spontaneous, not that her parents were doing it, but, hey, the school's noticing, so we've talked to the principal and stuff like that. We just can't, there's no rhyme or reason why, this is going on. It's the weirdest thing. She's not mean. She's not, she's a beautiful girl. She's 5'8", green eyes. She's gorgeous. We don't know what to do. I just don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't have very much experience in this. So I don't want to steer you wrong. It sounds like you did the right thing, but just realize that there's probably something in the way she's handling things as opposed to who she is. Like, she's obviously not a maniac, so maybe she's too shy, or maybe she's taking something to heart because there's no way that like a charismatic, outspoken, beautiful 17-year-old doesn't have any friends just on that. There's something that you're not aware of, whatever it is. Not that she's a bad person, but there's something she's doing at school or some trait she's displaying that you're probably not aware of.
And that's kind of what we're thinking. Like I said, that's just, we just didn't have any idea what to do. Not a clue. Just any outside, other than what our own opinions are, anything would help,
All I could suggest to you from my total lack of knowledge is to tell her that it does happen sometimes and to not give up on herself and to not allow herself to fall into a place where she thinks that this is the way it's always going to be, because it's not. A lot of people peak after high school. And the worst thing you can do, I think, is peak in high school. The worst thing you can do is be the fucking king shit or the queen shit in high school, because then it's all downhill. So maybe point out to her that this might be a weird patch, but it will pass. And people who peak in high school suck when they're 30. That she has a lot of amazing years ahead of her, and to just not give up on herself.
No, that's kind of the advice I've given her too. I've even told her, as far as my wife and I graduated the same year in '88, and we're about the same age as you. How many of our high school friends do we still keep in contact with? I've got one. Yeah. That's it. And my wife, none. I mean, like you, how many of your high school friends do you keep up with?
None. I keep in touch with a lot of people who are in high school, but none of them were my friends when I was. All right, good luck, man. We have to wrap up, I think. We have to leave. We have to go now, Iraq? We have 6 minutes.
No, we don't. We're done.
What do you mean we're done?
We have 2 breaks to do.
Oh, 2 breaks. I have people to help. Lives to save.
Perhaps you'd like to talk about the Patrice auction.
Okay, real quick. I twittered the link. It ends at clock. It ends at 2 o'clock today. 10 signed Patrice O'Neill posters. All proceeds go to Patrice's family. And myself, Colin, Tell, Bill Burr, Robbie Kelly, Voss Robinson, Ian Edwards, Will, and Marina all signed it. And you can buy them on auction. They're beautiful posters. And it ends today, and the money goes to his mother and his wife.
The link's up on our Facebook, too, Opie and Anthony.
And it's tinyurl.com/Patrice auction. Very easy. Which, that looks worse than it is, those words. Patrice auction. Thank God he's not alive to see that, because he would do a fucking 20-minute slavery rant. Why did you call it that? He'd scream at us. All right. Until next week.
Bye.
You're welcome.